it's me. I am so used to Boopin doing it. Yeah, hey, what's up? Welcome to the Trail Positivity Podcast. I'm over here thinking, why is Boopin not saying anything? My name is Christian, and I'm joined by my co-host Boopin and Miller. Hi, boys.
Yellow.
Oh,
Howdy.
wow, we're already starting off great.
Starting off great with a big glass of whiskey so to deal with your bullshit today.
Oh, it's not just mine, it's half of America. But in case you don't know, we are a Chicago Bears podcast. We hope to try to bring you some positivity into your life. In typical Chicago fashion, although there's other teams in Chicago that are doing pretty good. I believe the Chicago Bulls are still number one in the East, 3-0.
We don't talk about other sports other than the NFL.
Yeah, I know. We'll wait for the following part of the agenda.
Yeah, have you seen the agenda?
Yeah. Boys, how was your weekend?
It was good.
How was the weekend? It was good, man.
Eventful.
Short.
I was busy. Good times.
Nice. Very nice. Well, in today's episode, we're going to always talk about what happened this week in the NFL. We're then going to talk about this Bears Loser Tuesday since they dropped the game against the Ravens. After that, we are going to go ahead and look into the following game against the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll give our predictions. And right before our predictions, we also give our positivity score, which is always fun to talk about. And after that, we end the night with a fantasy recap. Boys, let's get started, shall we? Let's get this bullshit out of the way. Miller, what did you find interesting in this week's NFL slate?
Well, obviously it's week 8.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously it's not as important as other things happening in this world. Mainly the World Series in baseball.
Hey,
and
transition!
I don't know if you guys have been paying attention at all, but Shohei Otani is putting on a fucking show. And I wouldn't normally bring this up, but the things that this guy is doing is insane. Now, there's a little caveat to this because it's the last 2 home games. So the last 2 home games that Shohei has played, he is 7 for 8 with 5 home runs, 7 RBIs, and 5 walks. Jesus. Yes, you heard that correctly. 7 for 8 or 5 home runs. Insane. 3 for 4 the game before, and then yesterday in an 18-inning battle, he was 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and 5 walks. And apparently he's going to see a lot more of first base coming at him because I think the Toronto Blue Jays already said that they're going to give him the Barry Bonds treatment and basically just put him on base all the time, which they need to. It's just historic what this guy's doing. I don't like the Dodgers. I don't want them to win. But seeing something like that is just mind-boggling.
Yeah. Didn't realize he played football, but all right. Boopin, what you got for this week 8 in the NFL?
It's showtime in every sports, you know? I got you, Miller. I got you. Football, bring it back home. Week 8, blowouts. Blowouts everywhere. 11 out of the 12 games were decided by double-digit margins. Average winning margin for the week was 18 points. It was also the first time only one game was decided by less than a score since 1970. So, crazy week of football. Favorites won for the most part. I think there was probably Miller would disagree, but there's only a couple people that
I'm not going to disagree, but it wasn't for the most part.
Yeah. So only a couple, survivor pool decimated by another 33%. So shout out to the people still surviving. But no, it was like a fun, won my bet, not the big one, but like the side bets I won, a couple of them. So yay to me.
And of course, we always say gamble responsibly.
No, we don't.
We never say that.
We have to if we're going to start saying stuff like that. Trust me, I learned that the other day.
Anyone who's seen the parlay.
We haven't given any gambling tips, so we don't need to say that.
Well, to each his own, I guess.
What stood out to you, Chris? Week 8 in that?
2 things stood out for me. I think the Colts might be a Super Bowl team. This Jonathan Taylor, who is Miller's favorite running back, which we've brought up multiple times. First
MVP.
running back,
MVP.
first running back to score 3 touchdowns in what is it, 3 or 4 consecutive games, something like that.
3 games, I think. He's on pace to
He's
break.
28,
on
I think
pace
I
for
saw.
40.
Yeah,
I
break.
thought I saw 28.
Tom
No, he's
Wilson.
at like 15. He's on pace for 40 touchdowns.
Interesting.
He may break Tomlinson Ladaniel's record when he won the MVP.
I think someone did say though that for them to do that, for the Colts to actually do that, they would have to abuse his abilities basically and just give him the ball and see what he does.
But they're
Which is in
not
typical Miller format.
No,
they're
he has
not abusing him.
Yeah,
That's
he's
the
not,
thing.
He
He had
doesn't do a
12
lot.
carries
Yeah,
for
he
like
doesn't do a lot.
150 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, the
These-
offensive line that they have over there is just insane. Like, if you watch some of the game and the holes that they're creating, I mean, it's like 5 yards of space.
Yeah, the funniest
Just
thing is
off the chart.
it's rebuilt, right? Because they signed, I think 2 of their players went to Minnesota. They got rid of a bunch of people, rebuilt this O-line, and still freaking killing everybody.
Yeah. So shout out to John, who is an avid Colts fan, season ticket holder. He got to see history. The second thing is shout out to Justin Fields, who said "fuck you" to his owner, even though he said the right things when he said that he wasn't sure what he said, but whatever. Led the Jets to a giant comeback win.
Wow.
You could even say outperformed the current quarterback that we have in the Bears.
Okay. It's the Cincinnati Bengals.
If we're gonna get into that, very happy for him. Hopefully this leads to better things. But yeah, that was basically it. I have
when
to
you
agree
have a
with
combined negative 20 yards in the previous 2 games, it's not really hard to do better.
you could say that.
I'm pretty sure Caleb has a better average than him.
I mean, still, Caleb did not look good, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. We're going to go right into Bears versus Ravens. However, before we do that, we need to shout out Stat Hole, who gave me some great entertainment over the weekend. He wrote an article about Caleb Williams and how Ben Johnson apparently knows how awful he is. Of course, he is a comedic writer. People just read the headline and ran with it, and some people at Barstool retweeted that, which I think helped the article get more eyes on it. Moral of the story is there, and I think one of us is going to point it out, and I don't want to take it away from that. There was one outline in that article that I think we all have to agree with. I think, can I get some head shaking in that there is at least one correct statement?
Just do something other than talk this bullshit, would you?
All right. It was a great article. It talks about how Caleb is awful and that Ben Johnson knows it. I enjoyed it, but boys, what do you think? Because if you read in the comments section, it's very split 50-50 with people agreeing and disagreeing with what he wrote.
Can I go first, Miller?
You are going first, yes.
All right, cool. For those who didn't watch the game or didn't follow it closely enough, Caleb threw for 25. He threw 38 times, 25 completions for 285 yards. Just curious if you guys knew where that ranked in terms of pass yards for quarterbacks this week.
Lower than Fields.
He was above Fields. Fields did not throw for 280 yards.
I mean, like, give me a number, top 1 to 32, right?
It's probably like 9th.
It's probably 6 or something.
It's 4. He was above the MVP candidate Drake May. So, while his game left a lot to be desired, right? There's places for blame to go a lot than just him. And I just wanted to throw it out there. I know we're going to talk about him a lot and his stats a lot, but we should have finished drive, score some points, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about that more, but him alone is not to be blamed. Yes, that interception was horrible, but let's remember, when that interception happened, we were leading the game. We just had taken the lead. We got the ball back. We were driving, right? Yeah, interception happened. They scored.
We were not
leading.
We were leading 16-13, no?
We were losing 16-13.
We were losing, but we had just scored a touchdown. We got the ball back. We were driving. So that interception changed the game. They scored, like they went out of control after that. But I just want to say there's it's not doom and gloom out there. We'll talk more.
I here's my thing.
We were
with
talking
this.
about the fucking article, people.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to lead
You didn't lead
into.
with the question. I answered the question. You didn't lead with the question that you're supposed to ask.
I literally brought up the article.
He said, "What do you think about the article?"
What did you think about the article?
Oh shit!
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And then he goes preaching about Caleb's stats. I'm not even halfway through this class. Come on, man.
I have this. Here's the thing that I just don't like, but I think I'm just gonna have to save it because I feel like we're gonna go all over the place. So Miller, I'll let you say your piece.
Just pass it to me, okay?
Yep. Miller, go ahead and
pass
say
it
your
to me.
piece about the article, and then we know what's coming next.
I'm gonna read the article right now, just for everybody.
Like Chris mentioned, the article from Stathole was fantastic. It was funny. It was everything he wanted to be about an article, except 95% of it was wrong. It was. I did reach out to the author of that article, and he mentioned that it was probably one of the most popular articles that he's had. I think I saw something along from Barstool. I think over 700,000, at least when I checked yesterday, have looked at it, viewed it. So it definitely got some traction. Like Chris mentioned, I think he had over 150 comments in it, a lot of back and forth, all that bullshit. But you get down to the points, the nitty gritty to it. It has nothing to do with the title. And that's what the theme of this episode is going to be about. It's going to be about clickbait because a lot of shit is fucking clickbait. But the article points to the one correct fact, which is Caleb isn't improving his accuracy. And that's the gist of the article when you get it down to the nuts and bolts. But clickbait is the theme, and it's time for me to glaze.
It's Miller's Glazing Minute, brought to you by the Trio of Positivity Podcast.
Clickbait is everywhere, guys. It's here, it's there, it's on Caleb. We have to slow our roll on the screenshots. The first text that we got after the game was DJ was open by 10 yards. Put that into context. Everybody's seen the all 22, and now everybody's saying, oh, that wasn't on Caleb, that was on DJ. He stopped in the wrong place right behind Roquan. Screenshots are hurting everything that we deal with because there's times when a quarterback isn't looking on the other side of the field where the guy's wide open because he's focused here, he's rolling right, and the guy's on the left side of the field. It doesn't work. Watch the game, see the entire field, and understand that he's trying to learn the progressions of the offense, not trying to hit the wide open receiver that may not even be open at when he is throwing the ball. It's all fucking bullshit. These pictures. Fuck it. So bad. Thank you.
That was 20 seconds.
No, he was right under a minute. He's getting better. Of course, he probably has experience of only lasting less than that. Anywho, let's get into the actual game, shall we, boys? The Bears threw up a clunker, losing 16-30 with a Lamar Jackson less team. Huntley threw his first touchdown against the Bears and ended up with 2 for the day. Rushing for both teams did not look all that great either, but it looks like Baltimore did have most of the yardage.
He's thrown many touchdowns, for the record. He didn't throw his first touchdown.
He threw his first touchdown of the season.
Okay, context is key.
Did I not say season? I'm sorry.
No, you didn't say season.
My apologies. He threw his first touchdown of the season is what I meant to say. My apologies. The rushing game was kind of for both, but Derrick Henry was doing Derrick Henry things, did 21 carries, 71 yards with 2 touchdowns. So I don't want to get too much into the stats. What were some standout performers of the game? It could be either team. I didn't specify that. I apologize for not specifying. But who would you say were standout performers in this game?
Performers, plural.
Yes, I did say plural because last time it was a whole debacle.
Did we have any? Honestly, I didn't see much on our team. No, I mean, all joking aside, I mean, the only guy that I saw sometimes around the ball on the defensive side was Trevon Dexter. He had a sack. He had 2 tackles for loss and 7 tackles. So he was actually playing some defense on that line, unlike other individuals that make be a combined salary of $150 million that we don't want to talk about. But Trevon Dexter definitely kind of made an impact on the interior of the defensive line.
Miller always worried about people getting paid. I could not look at the defense. I couldn't look at the defense for any standout performance because God, it was awful. I looked at the offense and Darnell Wright, who Miller wanted bench and cut and fired and everything 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
No, that was week 1 or
I don't know,
2.
maybe 2.
Week 1 or 2.
Uh,
One of those because he had like 5 false starts and 2 holding penalties in 2
Hey.
games.
If you give people a second chance, they come back. He was the second highest rated player for the game by PFF. Shut the fuck up, Chris.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? This just tells me he didn't listen to the fucking episodes on vacation because I've already been here and I've praised the motherfucker for like 4 weeks straight.
Also, this whole thing we
Can
never talked
Can
about.
I finish?
Hold on, I'll let you finish. I just want to say one thing.
Okay,
This whole thing with
Kanye.
PFF, I know you didn't listen because even players hate PFF, but continue.
I know. I saw the JJ Watt thing. Anyway, he was rated at 86.1. There were only 2 players rated in the 80s. Everyone else was 70 and below. Even compared to the play on the other side of the line, on the left side, that was admirable. So I threw it up there. Like compared to what he was doing week 1, week 2, probably injured, getting penalties. This seems to be a different player. No penalties whatsoever for him too. Clean game.
I have to give it to Derrick Henry, man. The yards are not there, but he scored 2 touchdowns, which turned to be.
Are you a Ravens fan now?
Listen, when I clearly said it could be for any team because I agree with Miller. There really was not much to talk about on the offensive side.
Well, there
Defense
was.
Defense at best
Broom
was.
had 100 fucking yards, but all right, whatever.
Yeah, but it doesn't. In this game, it didn't really feel like it did anything. I don't know. We can talk more about that here in a bit. But I'll give it to Derrick Henry. He was a former player on my fantasy football team. Did not get to keep him, but I'm sure he helped out some people out there. So let's go ahead and break this down a little bit, boys. Let's go ahead and get this Caleb conversation going. We're gonna start with the offense. The offense played as if baby was actually thrown with the horrible bathwater.
That was so much better with you talking than it was reading. I'm gonna be honest.
Sounds good, right? I actually came up with that on my own. For those that don't know, I learned that phrase last week, and I was told that that's actually a pretty common phrase. Which, again, I don't understand. I still don't understand.
I don't know if it's common, but it's out there.
Fucking just chucking babies and shit. But boys, it's now 2 weeks in a row that we are seeing some kind of lack when it comes to offensive production. How are we feeling now with this offense being 7 total games in instead of just the last 2? Let's look at the whole season.
Yeah, we could definitely do better finishing drives. Miller brought up accuracy. That's been something well documented. Like he's one of the worst passers of the ball, especially deep ball. So that's definitely the area of improvement, I think. But again, kind of going back to what I wanted to talk about initially was we still lead the league in explosive plays. And not just lead it by a little bit. We lead it by a whole play a game. Right? We're still scoring 24 points a game. Are there areas we could do better? Absolutely. But I feel like I have more positivity about this team. It could be coming from Ben. It could be coming from Ben as in Ben Johnson, not the other Ben. Like it could be many things. But like I wanna have proper context to this. We are 4-2, right? We have some winnable games coming up.
4-3.
Sorry, 4-3. We have 4-3. Thank you, Miller. We have 4-3. We have a couple of winnable games coming up. Like it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, when we lose games, it feels like fired the coach, fired the GM, fired his fucking mistress. Everybody gets fired. But let's have proper.
Ben Johnson does not have a mistress.
I
do not spread rumors like that.
Sorry, that's Twitter's job. Yeah, that's Twitter's job. I'm sorry, but like I just want to have like. Yes, the last couple of games, we have like Caleb hasn't thrown a touchdown. We are panicked. I get that, but people, Take a deep breath. We are on a slightly better path than last year, at least coaching wise. So I have belief. I believe. That's where I'm going to leave it at.
Miller, what do you think?
I agree with you. I just am very scared because if we're ever at the point where Boopin isn't preaching belief, whew, we are in trouble.
You know what?
But
Historically, that's true. I've done this with Fields. I've done this probably with Mitch.
But it's just like if you dive into the nuts and bolts of the game in particular, and you look at the drives that we have, it is just heads over heels better than what we had to deal with last year. Even the year before that, and the year before that, and year before that. Like you're talking about stagnant offenses. You're talking about offenses that couldn't move the ball. We'd get out there, 4 and out, 4 and out, 4 and out, 4 and out, touchdown, 4 and out. Like it wasn't good offensive football. And then you dive into what Caleb's been doing on his off games, and it's just like he's putting up almost 300 yards. We had 6 drives. One wasn't scoring. Well, 2 weren't scoring because of a missed field goal, and then the downs at the end of the game that averaged 58 yards a drive. So we're moving the ball up and down the field. Anybody that watched the game knows that mistakes were made by Caleb. You're talking about that interception was horrible. I mean, he threw it into double coverage. He had the back out of the backfield that was pretty much wide open. Horrible interception. You can't do that. That's a huge mistake. But I mean, it doesn't mean that he didn't have a decent day. I mean, he was threading the needle down the field. He was throwing 20-yard, 15, 20-yard passes to Rome, to DJ. He was spreading the ball around. And that's what you want out of your offense. So to sit here and say that the offense was completely lackluster is not fair, in my opinion. It was between the 20s that we were very successful. And then when we got inside the 20-yard line, which I mean, we need to be better. We talked about that last week on the tips for this game. It was penalties and it was needing to turn field goals into touchdowns. We did neither well. And obviously we lost. But you can't be doing that. You got to score touchdowns. But we moved the ball very well between the 20s. Caleb played decent, made huge mistakes. Not going to say he cost us the game because we'll get into the defense in a little bit, but he definitely had mistakes that added to that loss.
So here's the thing that I am at the point of when it comes to watching 7 games. It's that we're hitting the part where we're trying to praise whatever we can praise because we know that the negativity speaks louder. At the end of the day, you can have 400 yards and still only score 16 points, and people will be happy that he threw 400 yards. And we should not be a team that looks at that. Like that, the fact that we have big plays, and yet we don't score. There's got to come a point where for certain things, stats matter. I completely agree. But for this game, and Miller's right, we'll talk about penalties, we'll talk about the defense, we'll talk about that. It's the mistakes. There's only so much you can do with mistakes, especially when you repeat it. There was a statement out there that when Caleb was asked about the interception, he praised the defense that they did a great job. Ben Johnson came back and said, nope, that ball should not have been thrown there. Caleb said, I still would have thrown it there.
That's not what happened.
Basically, that's how I understood it. That's how I understood it.
Let me break it down.
Go ahead.
Caleb came out before
wait. We got Miller from the press conference. Miller, are you there?
Caleb came out before Ben, and they were asking him about the play, and he's like, it was a good ball. The defense it was the right read, and it was a good ball. The defense.
He said
just
it was
made
a right
play.
read into double coverage.
Yep. And then Ben said, he was asked about the play. He's like, I feel like the ball could have gone elsewhere.
Right. Now, here's what a lot of people are taking from that statement is that you have a quarterback and a coach who see one play right after the game is over.
Wait, no,
and they are not aligned. And they are not aligned.
hang on, no, like you when you look at the play, the linebacker or like whoever the safety, whoever the guy that intercepted the ball, he was not in the play, and he kind of read Caleb. Like I would take his criticism that he was kind of holding on to Rome, but you when you're behind the play and you see that, like we had a similar interception with our safety last game when Bayer just cut the route and caught the ball because he was breaking on the ball, he saw the route, he intercepted the ball. That's what happened. I feel like to say like he shouldn't have honed in on the one receiver. That's probably where Ben is coming from. I think,
But here's the thing though, Boopin. You have a quarterback who, when they answer that question, the way that he answered it, it sounded like he would still throw it there.
well,
In comparison to the coach saying you
Well,
throw to the
Chris,
open guy.
I don't want to be mean, but he's coming off the field.
That's fine. No, I said that.
He went through the
Right, no,
progressions.
Yes,
and
that's what I'm
he
saying.
determined that was the best place to throw the ball.
Right.
So why would his mind change?
like
Just
one-on-one,
because of an
the whole
interception.
because the whole thing about this quarterback working with the coach is that the quarterback needs to start thinking like his coach. And if the coach is already saying it should have gone elsewhere.
if I may say, he's talking about the effort, right? He's saying he saw
No,
single coverage with Rome. He threw the ball. Rome was
what
beating
Caleb
his
is
guy.
saying is that he credited the defensive
No,
player
you
for
are-
making the play.
Chris, you're looking at the result. You're saying
No.
after the
I'm
interception
looking at
happened-
what Caleb said.
No. I'm that's what I'm trying to explain to you. So what Caleb is, I think, trying to say is, Rome had a guy, and like he had a place where he could place the ball, so Rome would catch it, the other guy wouldn't. This guy is undercutting the route and caught it, right? So I think what Caleb is saying is maybe it could have been delivered higher, faster, differently, but he's saying that was the right play because I saw Rome beating his guy. This guy undercutting the route is a different thing,
Right.
because I don't
Lupin.
think Caleb can see that.
Okay, but here's the thing. What you're saying is you're giving credit to Caleb, where right after the game, the coach said, it should have gone elsewhere.
But no,
All I'm saying, hold on.
I'm not giving
hold on.
credit.
All I'm saying with that statement is that if a coach is not coming in to support and say, yeah, that was a great defensive play, I will give credit to Miller, where it's like it's after the game. Maybe they'll look at the play and maybe they'll say something different. Sure. But a lot of times we always look at those post-game press conferences, just like if we look at the post-game press conference wins, we still take those by value. So just because it's after the game, whether it's a win or a loss, it's irrelevant because that's what's being said at that moment.
Shut up.
No, hang on.
Yes.
I hate that he makes me feel like I'm defending Caleb, but I'm saying as a quarterback, my effort was the right way. And what you're saying is the result was an interception. So now you're looking back at the whole thing. I'm looking at before the interception happened.
He's not talking about any of that. He's literally just comparing that the quarterback and that the coach are on different wavelengths. That's all he's saying. And my only point to this was Caleb's going to come out because he's the one that's the quarterback. He's the one that's looking down the field. We can sit here and second guess every move that he makes and point out the fact that Manungai was wide open in the flat, but you don't even know if the progressions got there. He may not have got
You're
there.
absolutely
He
right.
saw that Rome beat his guy and he threw a ball that was a little behind and the cornerback was able to cut the route. That's what he saw. So there's no doubt in my mind that, of course, he's going to come out and say it was a great read because that's the read that he made and he made a bad throw in his mind. Now he's going to look at the tape and realize, oh, I had Manungai in there. But I mean, I understand where you're coming from, Chris, and talking about how they're supposed to be on the same page. It is early. We're talking about 7 games in.
Yep, that's why I said the one thing that caught me in the 7 games is that part right there. Because, hey, I'll say it. Loveland got some touches. He only got 5 targets, but he caught 3. Hey, that's pretty good.
He was the only tight end probably playing.
That's what I'm saying. Pretty good. Adunze, yeah, he got 7 for 114. That's great. But what I'm saying is it's mistakes that are costing the Bears wins right now. And we're at a point in the season where it doesn't matter how many yards, how many big plays, or how we're doing this. All of that is meaningless if we can't score points.
Awesome transition.
Okay,
Stop talking. Stop talking. No. This is
time out. We were winning. We were winning fucking 2 weeks ago, and you were still bitching. We were winning.
Yes, because it's
ugly.
a trend, Boopin. It's a trend.
No. We were winning. You said when we were winning and it was ugly, you were not happy then too. So shut the fuck up about like Like it
Well,
needs to
hold
be
on.
win.
Wait a minute.
Why
So
can't you
what
just
you're
let me
saying?
transition to my point?
No,
Go-
he can't have it both ways.
What do you mean I can have it
It's
both?
not a-
You literally
we
just said
Ruben,
that I
we
am
will
not
get-
happy about the offense.
You're literally sitting here making me defend him because the offense hasn't looked great since the Cowboys game. It's the
Yeah.
bottom line. Caleb's done some good things, but it hasn't really looked cohesive as a full unit. And you're making me sit here and defend this fucker.
All right. I'll let
We're at the point where you know what I
Fuck.
honestly believe. And Miller, I'll finish my point. We'll transition to you.
All right,
I honestly,
Fucking damn it.
you know what I think of the screens, and we always talk about. You know what I think is the main reason why he does that is to make Caleb feel comfortable so he can get a completion. That's what I honestly think is
You're
happening.
so full of shit.
That's what I
Look
honestly
at-
think was happening.
Okay. You
Go ahead,
sat
Miller.
here because Boopin needed to interrupt me. You sat here and you said that mistakes aren't resulting in points. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
As far as scoring efficiency on a drive, where do you think the Bears are?
Score on the scoring efficiency, meaning if it's a field
every-
goal or a touchdown.
Every drive, how many drives get points percentage-wise? Where do
more
you
than
think
70, probably.
So you think 70% of our drives get points?
Yeah, so that's what for
So you're
every 10
bitching
drives
about
we
an
get
offense
points on
that's
7.
That's really good. You know that, right?
Yeah, but we don't have that many drives in a game. Look how many drives we had now.
70%. That's insane. That would be crazy. Okay,
I mean,
well, this
hold on.
isn't
If you
going to
look at-
impress you that much.
If you
But
look at this
where do
game
you
right
think
now,
That, okay, where do you
first-
think that
hold on.
ranks in the league?
Oh, I don't care about the ranks, but let's just
Top
look at this
5.
real quick. Field goal, first drive, second drive, field goal, third drive punt, fourth drive field goal, or missed field goal, sorry. Fifth drive punt, that's the end of the third quarter. That's 5 drives. And it's already the end of the third quarter.
But
So in
can't
those 5
control
drives,
how
we
many
only
times-
scored twice.
Brother, you can't control how often you get the ball.
Okay, you're not okay. So the bottom line is you just had a statement a few minutes ago complaining that mistakes are not resulting in points. I would like to point out to you that the Bears are currently 4th in the NFL in scoring efficiency on drives, hitting out a 52.4% rate. So that means on 52% of their drives, they are scoring points. That is behind the Packers, the Colts, and the Chiefs. So to sit
Okay.
here and preach
I have a question.
that we're not driving and scoring points is
have a
100% wrong.
I have
Why
a
are we
question.
number one?
That is false. That is false because the only reason why that's been happening over this course of the fucking season is because of the turnovers and where we're placed in the field. So that's irrelevant. You can't use that stat without knowing that if we don't have the turnovers, the drives would be longer.
You're acting like the turnovers have given us the ball on like the 10-yard line every time.
Didn't Miller say
But
our
it gives us
average-
the ball
hang
closer
on,
than it would have been
hang
on a
on.
punt or it
Miller-
would have been
Well,
on a
that's so
kickoff.
stupid.
Miller said our average drives were 58 yards. Just like two.
Yeah, our
two-
average drive is 58 yards. You could read it yourself. Like, dude, we're moving the ball. We're getting in range. We have preached the fact that we cannot score touchdowns, and that is the biggest killer on this team. It's not moving the ball. It's not anything related to
disagree.
that. It's the
I
fact that
disagree.
we are settling for field goals instead of touchdowns.
No,
You can disagree all you want, but the Bears should have been up 14-0, giving the ball to the Ravens, and we were up 6-0.
They should have been up more, but yeah. Go ahead, Boopin.
Yeah,
We'll
they should
finish
have
your
won 16-0. Why only 14, Miller?
They should have been up 20 if you wanted to give the missed field goal and then one touchdown.
Well, they scored, didn't they?
Yeah,
I thought they scored between that.
yeah. We've been losing.
They had a
the match.
touchdown, so it
But-
should have been
But
14.
I got to think for the missed field goal. Keep reading. Keep going. I got to think for the missed field goal. Come on.
Are we
You're
good?
literally
I
going
think,
ahead of the agenda. How dare you?
That's
I think that covers it. I'm fine.
How
I don't
dare
think
you.
I have anything else.
All right. Let's go ahead and go into the next point of the agenda, which is special teams, but primarily our kicker Santos came back from injury. The one thing that we saw on one of the drives was a kick for 58 yards, which he missed. Boopin has his hand up, but sadly, it's Miller that's going to start us off because he was the first bullet point on the agenda. Hence,
I really
You wanna
want
go ahead and
Nunez.
take us
I
ahead?
really want Chris to start this one of these days.
I know that's not going to
All
happen.
I have,
but
Boopin, I'll
was it
be
a mistake?
quick.
Hold on. Was it a mistake for Santos to come back? Should we have kept Moody? Is the question of the agenda, but I know we're not going to go there. So
We're
on to
really
you.
probably not going to cover it. I mean, the only thing I'll say to that matter is you're talking about two kickers one that's really accurate, one that historically hasn't been accurate, but has a really strong leg. And it's up to you to figure out what you want. To defend Cairo here, it was a shit show to end that half because of Caleb's mistakes. I believe it was Caleb's mistakes. Because of his mistakes of not stopping the clock,
Yeah.
it went into craziness because he just slid when he should have tried to get out of bounds. And the clock would have stopped, and there would have been a little more time to get that field goal in position for him to kick it. But we know Cairo's leg isn't strong. My fun fact for you to the day:
Fun
do you
for who?
realize?
Fun for who?
I don't know. Do you realize the Bears kicking game? Only Robbie Gould has made a field goal from 55 yards or longer since 1940.
That is insane.
For the Bears, correct?
Over 75. Of course it's for the Bears.
And just
Over
wanna point it out, brother.
75 years. That's
All right.
crazy. Obviously, Robbie was with us for a little while, but still, I mean, you're talking 55 yards. Like,
I think it wasn't his longest with the 49ers. I feel like his longest was with the Niners.
I mean,
Wasn't
it makes sense because you're talking about California weather compared to Chicago weather.
Plus the field,
Fair.
like the 59-yarder a couple of weeks ago was the longest.
55 yards. We haven't had a kicker that kicked 55 yards
I know,
other than Robbie Gould.
It's shocking, I know, but like I was thinking the Soldier Field.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you guys know that the kicking ball and the quarterback throwing balls are different balls?
Yes.
No, did you know that?
I don't think I really knew that, but I could assume that.
Yeah, like
Because I'm assuming it's just like anything in the NFL where the quarterback has the ball the way they like it, the kicker has the ball the way they like it, everybody has it perfect, which is why Tom Brady fucked everybody over. Deflategate.
So when I heard that because of the mistakes, whatever, the kicking field, because the ball was already set, right? The ref had the ball, he set the ball. Because of all that going on, I heard that Santos was not kicking the kicking ball, it was a throwing ball. I don't know if you guys remember, a similar thing happened last week. That's how I learned about this is these kind of kicks when they come in and try to do this kick. Supposedly they practice every week. It's called Hurricane or something. And they practice with a different ball. Like it's practice with a different ball. And that's what I learned. I'm not trying to, while we know Santos over 50 is always iffy at best, NFL might want to address this if it's twice in 2 weeks and it was not off by that much, right? He was like short by a little bit. If the other ball was there, it might have gone in.
NFL shouldn't address shit. Sorry. When your team is bad at planning, you can't get the ball down, you can't do what you need to do to be in a position, the NFL shouldn't care about
Well, like
it. Sorry.
everyone knows it's end of half, right? Just be prepared in case they're kicking the field goal. That's all.
But you're not going to get a new ball in there. You're just not going to.
It's 3 seconds or whatever time was left on the clock. Like
It's
not their
like 10
responsibility.
seconds if a new.
It's still not their responsibility to get the ball. It's the responsibility.
not
of the
happening.
team.
It's twice in 2 weeks. Like I'm saying, like the kick was short because they kicked the throwing ball.
That's you don't know that. You don't. His leg is not strong. What is his career long? I don't know offhand.
55 probably. That's what I'm.
Okay, then how are you going to say it's
he was
short?
It was out of his range. Then yeah. So even with a boosted ball, it wouldn't have mattered.
But let's focus on Chris because he's the one that's loving on them Jakies.
Yeah. So I actually had to do research before we even talked about this game because I'm actually doing it for a class assignment. So there's already a stat out there, and Boopin, they're called K-balls. The team is actually given 60 of them in a season, and then they can give 3 to officials, which becomes their official kicking ball. But in those games, they have to prep it, so that's a whole game thing. During my research, according to Sports Radar in 2025, there have been already 90-plus field goal attempts of 50 yards or more, with 66 being made. But the biggest story of the stat is that there's 60 plus out there that were 7 attempt with 4 already made. So kickers are going to be an interesting part of the NFL. And right now, with the kick that he sent, it's irrelevant on the ball, in my opinion. You want to start looking for the stronger leg. Maybe Santos might not have it like Miller was saying, but
I mean, like your stat, even Chris, like above 60, there's only less than 50% made. I'm
But they're
not
being
saying.
made. On the attempts, the majority is still being made.
Okay.
I mean, Santos missed it too. If all you care about misses, he missed it for you.
I mean, regardless, like, okay, what Chris is saying is our kicker can't even kick it 50 plus. In the league, you're hitting about 70%.
You're
We
hitting
have
That's
70
pretty
or
talked
good.
about
more.
this. We have talked about this. Like
But
he's solid, but he's not good above 50. We've talked about
Okay,
it.
but you can't
fuck,
say
I've
that
lost
he's
my point.
solid. But like I hate that
Okay,
everything that we're doing, and as Bears fans, it's everything is like, yeah, he's great, but like I feel like we're sugarcoating stuff. Like that's just a bad
I
habit.
mean,
okay.
I
there's
don't.
only
Can we?
one. There's only one
I have,
Brandon Aubrey. I don't know what to tell you.
I have a real question for you, Chris. I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
sure that you know Jake Moody's history with San Fran. It was messy.
Yeah, it was messy.
Basically, from my brother-in-law, he was talking about how extra points they're holding their breaths because he might not be making them. With how aggressive Ben Johnson is, do you really think it's important to have a kicker that can consistently hit or not hit, consistently have the range for a 50-yard field goal? Or do you think it's more beneficial when you're on the 40-yard line and Ben Johnson's probably going to go for a majority of the time,
There.
if it's better to have a kicker that is more accurate closer?
So you actually answered my question, or you answered the question with what I would have said. I think it's because Ben Johnson has a tendency of going for it when it's like within what I think we said within 2 or 3 yards. When it's within 2 or 3 yards, we seem to
Well, that's like
say
even closer. So
right.
it's like 4th and 3. That it's like inside 30 is like
It's his
almost
go-to
automatic.
range.
He's
Yeah.
going for
My
it.
thing is, would he change his mind? And I don't know this. I'm just posing this as a question. Would he change his mind if he knew he had a kicker that could kick more than 55 yards? I don't know.
But you don't know how accurate Moody is at 55
No,
yards.
you're right.
He has the leg to do it.
That's my only
but
thing is that he has the leg. Whether it's the accuracy is always going to be a question for these kickers. But I do notice that some teams, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there are some teams that seem to trot out their team. All right, 53 yarder. Let's get out there. Like there are some
I-
teams out there that seem to do that with more confidence
it's
than the Bears.
not that's accurate. It's not as many teams as you think. I
It's not,
really
but
think
but the
it's
good
the
ones.
Cowboys, Houston, and Tampa Bay. And I think that is basically the line.
Jaguars.
Tampa is a really good team.
Jaguars don't
Didn't that
necessarily.
guy
I
kick
don't-
Jaguars
a
is because
70
they had the one kicker attempt the 60
they had
plus.
like he kicked
70
it, but like
No, he
I don't
kicked
know
70
if
in the preseason. I think that's what it was.
no, he kicked like 67.
All right, I think we spent more time on this than we should. Well, let's close this out with two things. Let's talk about the defense for a little bit. I believe the defense kept the game close, even though the final score did not show it. What do you think this defense will do? Will this defense continue to hold up, waiting for the offense to produce? Let's start with Boopin.
You're such an
Oh, I just noticed okay. Miller has to start it because there's apparently a follow-up.
No, there isn't. It was just no, it's fine. Boopin can go. Oh, he was agreeing with me. Okay,
Yeah,
this
there
is
you
a
go.
horrible thought. I don't know. This is the crux of my annoyance today, which is why I poured a big glass of whiskey. Is I don't understand how you are giving the defense a skate and placing most of the blame on Caleb. So the offense had its problems. Caleb had its problems. He gave up an interception. I'm going to remove that interception and subsequently those 7 points from this equation and say we gave up 23 points to a fifth string quarterback. Yes, let me repeat myself. A fifth string quarterback. He was the fifth quarterback on the Browns roster this preseason. He subsequently got cut and he got signed by the Ravens. Our defensive line, they got 3 pressures, 0 takeaways. We allowed them to drive 53 yards on average for their scoring drives. And if you're not considering the interception drive where they got the ball in the 7, we were allowing them to drive almost 63 yards on average to score points. You can't do that against that caliber of a quarterback. Derrick Henry did not have a great game. You praised him. He had 2 touchdowns, fine. But he was averaging just over 3 yards a carry. That's not a good rushing game for him. I know not Adelaide. I know their Keaton Mitchell, I believe, is their backup. He scampered for quite a few yards as well. But the bottom line is this defense did not play well. We allowed them to drive up and down the field on us and score points almost at will. So it was a collective loss.
Boopin? Oh, all right. He doesn't have anything to say. Perfect.
Wait, I'm back.
Oh, God.
Agree with Miller. I also want to add some context, okay? Our defense was playing way above expectations before this. Having the top 2 cornerbacks out didn't help. They have showed up when they're healthy, but this was flat out beat down by a team that has Super Bowl hopes. Like, we were leading the league in takeaways, and we were this fancy team that had.
Can you
swagger.
clarify who had Super Bowl hopes?
Oh,
Baltimore, I think.
Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Like a lot of people had them
before the season, because not right now. But
no, they're currently favorite to win the South or the North, the AFC North.
Wow.
They
Okay,
have a cake. They have a cake of a schedule coming up in 2 weeks, but
including the Bears.
I mean, they have 2 tough games coming up, I think, and it's all green after that. But
it was a joke.
I just want to say that yes, our defense didn't show up. Cleveland had a bunch of mistakes, but just want to put it out there. We were doing better than expected, leading the league in takeaways, and that didn't happen. Blah 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 blah. We've talked a lot. That's what I think.
So the reason that I say that our defense played better than what the score showed is this could have been a bloodbath given the first couple drives that we had, and they settled for field goals. I'm a big fan of when a team is supposed to score and they settle for field goals. That gives an offense a chance to get caught up. And the Bears did that. There was plenty of drives where they did that. I think the only drive that was a full-blown from beginning to end was the touchdown after the field goal before the end of the game. That's when they really drove at the end. And I will say there were some bad runs that their quarterback had where there was nobody up in the middle and he would just run up like crazy. So, yeah, those plays I get. But when you look at how the game started compared to what the score could have been, they settled for field goals, which you always want as a defense. You never want to give up touchdowns. So that's why, in my belief, they kept it close until the fourth quarter.
I mean, they scored going to the half, but okay.
Yeah, but what was the score at the half?
10-6.
Like, it's still, to me, that's still pretty close. I
mean, they kept it close. I'll give you that. They kept it close until Caleb's bad interception. That's what.
Now, in this stance, though, we will say that without a takeaway, we are starting to see a trend that the offense now needs takeaways to score, which is what I was.
That's not true. They need takeaways to win.
Okay, sorry. That makes it worse, but thank you. Apparently, we need takeaways to win, and this is now a game where you can say this might be true. We don't know if it's currently a trend, but it is something that you can.
No, it's definitely a trend.
Caleb has not won. Chris, you make it sound like you have not watched Bears football for the last 20 years.
I'm trying to be optimistic because it's the defense. And I feel like now we're at a point where if the defense doesn't produce at least one turnover during the game, we know the Bears are losing.
Right. You're sitting here. You can read Ben's text messages. Apparently, I'm the only one that deal with this bullshit. Caleb has not won a game where the defense has not gotten 2 turnovers. So it's not just 1 turnover. He needs 2 turnovers. Yes, shout out, Ben. Fuck you. I gave you your shout out, and I dropped your stat.
You're welcome, Ben. That's what I wanted out of all of this. Mission accomplished, boys. All right,
let's move on to penalties.
Last topic. I found this interesting tweet, and that made me want to bring up a tinfoil hat. Funny enough, I was going to make a tinfoil hat, but we actually don't have tinfoil at the house. So, Scott,
you don't have tinfoil.
I know. I don't know.
I mean, aluminum foil. I'm assuming you're talking about.
Yeah, aluminum foil. So Scott Bair, Bair. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. Well, Boopin has his physical whatever is happening over there. He tweeted out saying, per NFLpenalties.com, The Bears have been flagged 64 times for 533 yards, which was the second highest per game penalty count in the league. Bears opponents have been flagged 36 times for 254 yards, which is the second lowest per game count in the league. Is there a conspiracy, boys?
Against
Boopin,
the
you can
Bears,
go. I'm always first for some reason. Boopin, you can go.
Bears ranked dead last in pre-snap penalties in the league, and we have 34th worst in penalties overall. If you ask me, that's a primary area of improvement. This was asked this week, and our center, Drew Dahlman, actually addressed it, saying, "Hey, we know this is an issue. This is something we work on. Whatever area they work on seems to be getting better, but there's other areas that they fall short on." It basically what he said. Basically, sounds like an excuse. Big story short, we have seen improvement. We talked about Darnell Wright. He had a lot of pre-snap penalties. It's not happening anymore, so there seem to be a focus on it. But long story short, this is the biggest area of need if you ask the Bears, and we suck at it, plain and simple.
Miller, what do you think?
I think Caleb's the bigger need, but hey, here or there.
I disagree.
We've talked, like I mentioned previously, we talked about penalties. It's key to the game. The Bears struggle with it, as you can see from there. The tinfoil hat, I get it, but you have to think of it similar to how you think of a NBA player and getting to the foul line. When you have a player that is consistently fouling people, do you think a ref is going to give him a pass when they see him reach in and maybe he doesn't hit it, but he's consistently fouling? No, you're going to make the assumption that they're probably going to commit that penalty. The one annoyance thing that we saw this week, I think multiple times, but it was definitely called once, was a false start penalty where the entire Baltimore defense got up and pointed to a guy. And when they replayed it, the guy didn't even fucking move. Now, I'll give the refs credit because they did it again on the goal line and they didn't call anything. But when you're consistently having these penalties and being flagged multiple times, the league's going to take note. The refs are going to know that this team is penalty oriented and they're going to start to call ticky tacky shit. It's just part of the game. It sucks, but we got to clean it up. And if we don't clean it up, we could be in for more pain in subsequent weeks because penalties kill drives. Really do.
I was hoping to have more on the conspiracy side and only go from there, but I feel like penalties, Miller kind of hit it right on the head. The one thing is that I finally see a stat where it's like brought up to you where it's like 64 times for 533, and it's like,
It's a lot.
yeah. And to say that there's a one team at least ahead of us, I guess that's good, but I don't know. It's kind of like seeing
Jags.
this. It's kind of like seeing the sack numbers. Remember we were talking about like we were seeing Caleb get sacked so many times, and it was like, oh come on. And then I
Oh,
saw
I thought you were
that.
talking about earlier this year when we were looking at the sack numbers, and I think we had
Oh,
less
that too.
sacks than the Broncos had in one game.
That too. We were looking at that, and then we were looking at Caleb, and we were like, oh, his sack numbers are going down, even though he had a fucking higher number to start with. But like, we're seeing these things, but I never thought that penalties would actually be something where I think. Yeah,
Pen-
I think some refs call some certain games. Then I
but
feel like the
it's-
whole pointing things out to like a player to a ref, that's got to be a penalty in itself. I hate that. I hate that you can literally just stand up and point, which could cause the flinch instead of someone flinching beforehand. But that's
Yeah, the problem is the defense can do whatever they want. But do
yep.
you have any suggestions on how we can fix the penalties, specifically offensive line penalties?
I've thought about this. Do you think the play clock has something to do with it, where maybe they're getting up to the line? No, right? Honestly, just keep giving them drills, or just bench
So
everyone for a
one
whole
thing
like
that I saw is because we've always heard the talk about how offensive line is a unit within a unit, right? So one
yeah.
thing that I heard that was an example that was pointed out that they could possibly do is do like a penalty jar. Every time one of them commit a penalty, they throw $100 in the jar. At the end of the year, they go out to dinner, something like
Wait a minute.
that to
So
kind
if
of
they
add
draw the
more
penalty,
header.
not the yards, if they draw it.
Yeah, if they had
No, if
committed
they
penalty.
get penalized. Sorry.
Okay,
If
so
they
right now
draw
the
a
jar would
holding
be
penalty, if
$6,400 basically.
well, no, because I'm just talking about offensive line. You can't
Oh,
do that
okay,
for
sorry.
everybody, right? I'm
Sorry,
just
you're
talking about
absolutely right. My
offensive line.
bad.
I mean,
It's
it's
also
not
not
obviously all
it's
the
not
offensive
yards.
line's fault.
Yeah, it's also not
Yeah,
yards.
okay.
It's like if you get penalized, basically.
So
All right.
it's just one thing that maybe the offensive line to be a cohesive unit, but obviously it's not only them. I mean, Colson Loveland had a false start. We had special teams, like
Yep.
3 penalties on special
Yep.
teams. It's a collective.
I mean,
It's a
need to fix
collective,
it.
and I think that's the concerning part. Is we're seeing it everywhere, and yeah, there are calls that we should have gotten. I agree with that. I think the NFL should definitely look as to why they seem to miss every time we have those calls. But that one miss can't attribute to the 4 or
I feel
5 that our team does.
if you look at every play, I feel like there's a flag you can throw after. But what I will say is that Miller made this point the entire offseason. Like our O line was not finalized. It's still not finalized, right? Like there's a revolving door at left tackle and there's injuries and
No,
stuff like
it's
that.
finalized.
It's I again
You're holding hope that Braxton's going to come on this team, and he's not.
I
He
was
got
trying
benched.
I was trying to give you kudos that like you made a point that offensive unit, if it's a unit within a unit, they have not been playing a lot of games together, and it looks like Ben Johnson's system is fairly complicated. There's different assignments and stuff like that. So like,
But that still doesn't mean.
It's
See,
just
we
been
can't
2
keep
games.
using that as an excuse. It's already 7 games. Like,
No, that's what I'm saying. This unit, Theo.
oh,
like,
I
is
understand.
gonna-
I'm just saying, like, to say that because it's a difficult scheme. It's like, come on. I feel like that's something that just gets said. Like after a while, it's like you're a professional. Like I get the ones that are not true penalties. I understand that we're gonna get those calls, but the ones that hurt us on the drive that we need, those are the ones that piss me off. Which we've seen before. We saw it with Minnesota. I mean, there's other games where it's like, oh, we had that one drive and then the fucking hold killed us. It's those that piss me off. But I'm looking at the time. This is the most we've actually spoken in the generality of a team instead of looking at the game itself. So we're gonna try to move past it a little bit. I think we had great discussions. So let's go into the positivity score. I'm going to start us off. I was 7 last week. I am going to go at a 5.5, even though someone else also has this score. But I completely agree.
5.5.
I completely agree with whoever else is also saying 5.5. Go ahead and continue.
I'm at a 6. I drop a point. I'm concerned. I have my issues. The team's not correcting their mistakes.
like my point is going back to we have 4-2, blah blah blah. Like still probably on track to win however many games.
4-3. Damn it.
Damn it! I'm sorry. 4-2 is stuck in my head, but 4-3, like we know we have a couple of winnable games coming up. We're probably on track to win like however many games we said at the beginning of the year. Yes, it looks so bad when we lose, especially when we lose like this. But guys, it's not. Like I said last week, try not to get that high and try not to get that low. We're still on the trajectory we set for the team at the beginning of the year. It's all about expectations.
We'll see. We saw what happened last time we started a loss after we're getting a loss after being on a win streak. So I don't want that to
bring
repeat.
that up?
down.
Why would you fucking bring that up?
Because
Calm
that's what
fucking
happened last
down.
season. All right, boys, let's move on to the next game. We are playing the Cincinnati Bengals at
Woo!
Paycor Stadium.
Get
Yes,
right,
I
game.
had to look up the name because I did not realize it was called Paycor. It is a noon kickoff game. Right now, the Chicago Bears, or I'm sorry, not right now, but as of yesterday, the Chicago Bears were -2.5 with the over/under being 51.5. What do the Bears need to do to win this game? I'm going to start it off because I don't want people to say that I don't start it off. We have to run the ball. Run. I don't care how many times we need to have 30 attempts. I don't fucking care. Run the ball. It seems.
But Chris, what if Caleb doesn't throw for 200 yards and we win?
Then it
What if
proves
our-
the point that we don't fucking need him to throw the
What
yards
if our
so that we
running
can get the
backs
touchdown.
score 4 touchdowns and Caleb gets 0 touchdowns?
They,
What then, Chris?
What are we going to do?
we might as well get him out. Might as well. But are you not going to agree with me or not? I feel like the previous game we didn't have a good running presence. And if we have a running presence, we seem to be a little bit better. Run the ball. That's the only thing I can say.
You're all over the place. Miller, go.
How is that all over the place? I mean, did I say something wrong?
You criticized him 2 weeks ago when he didn't throw a touchdown and we fucking won.
Boobin, you know what I said 2 weeks ago too? I said, holy shit, you guys hated so much on Swift, and Swift was performing well. And the moment that I said that he was performing
Don't
well,
say that to Mr. Swift or Mr.
hold on, but
Swift.
here's what I said.
Mr. Swift right here.
Hold on.
We
But
keep going.
here's what I said. I said, this is what happens when Swift is playing well. Caleb seems to perform a little bit better. That's what I said. When the running game seems to be going well, Caleb seems to have the play action and great things. So I would like to see that with Caleb. I don't want Caleb to fail. I've already seen other quarterbacks fail for me already. So what more do I need?
Okay.
I don't need
Miller,
another
Miller,
failed
Okay,
trophy.
okay. Yeah,
of-
you're just
of
spewing
quarterbacks.
lies now.
Go,
Just
Miller.
spewing lies. What we need offense.
Hey, is
I'll
running
get
the ball
into it.
offense too?
Yes.
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 Interesting.
I didn't say you were wrong. I just said you're spewing lies at this point for not wanting Caleb to fail. We need a lot of offense because I'll get into it in a little bit, but yeah, we need offense. A lot of offense.
Like play clean football, Mr. Flacco has been very good. I think we'll talk about it in a minute. Like he's not turned the ball over, so we need to be very opportunistic when we can. Whenever we win the turnover battle, like we said, it's worked out well for us. Biggest thing I want to see this game is we don't kick as many field goals. We hopefully finish drives with 6.
Yeah, but if we don't kick field goals, Boopin, we're going to lose our drive to points percentage. So we got to do something since we don't have Caleb taking us down the field all the way for a touchdown.
Well, if we score 6, the problem's
You
solved.
have no idea how that stat works. Just move on to the Flacco talk.
Speaking of stats, since the trade, Joe Flacco has been nuts. He's got 7 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. Was it a mistake for him to go to the Browns? Is he the real deal in the Bengals?
Wait, go to the Browns.
No, he's not the real deal.
Really?
He is a quarterback that can work with any system, and what he does is what you need to do, which is get the ball to your playmakers' hands. Jamar Chase is on pace over these last 3 games with Joe Flacco.
That's my stat.
Sorry. For over 300 targets on the year. Realistically, you look at what Jamar Chase did last game, he had 12 catches for 90 yards. That's less than 10 yards a catch. He's not throwing it far. He's getting the ball into his playmakers' hands, and the playmakers are making plays. That's what he needs to do. That's what he's doing. He's not making mistakes. It's the game manager. That's what his role is, and he's doing it really well because we all knew coming into the season that the Cincinnati Bengals had a really good offense, and he's showing that they can get to that level, similar to with if they had Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Flacco admitted it himself too. He said he didn't even know what the play calls were. He was just gonna throw it to Jamar Chase. To hyper focus on Miller's point here, Jamar Chase has 54 targets in the last 3 weeks, which is a record. So he's doing the simple things. He's like, Jamar Chase, are you single covered? Here's the ball. If he's double covered, find someone else. And he's got other people involved. I have Higgins in one of my fantasy teams, and he's not doing amazing things like Chase is, but he's been serviceable too. So he's like figuring out who his playmakers is, getting the ball to them. Fairly simple, basic plan. Their O-line was horrendous. If you guys remember when Joe Burrow was there too, that has not gotten better. So he's figuring out where his strengths are and working with them. It's a pretty basic plan. And they've been running the ball like fucking crazy too. Like they've been much more efficient doing that. Since
Jesus, so it's almost like running the ball can help an offense. Crazy. Boys, I do have this one question. What would you define Joe Flacco? Miller kind of said it. He's like a game manager, which I think some teams need sometimes, right? I think Dak Prescott is also somewhat of a game manager. Would you guys agree?
No.
Really? What do you consider Dak Prescott?
I mean, Chris, we have really short
Star
memories.
quarterback.
Hang on. Remember at the end of last year, Joe Flacco won people fantasy football leagues.
No, you're right.
2 years ago.
That was 2. But Boobin, my question is if Flacco's labeled as a game manager, what is Miller says Dak is a star quarterback. Okay. Joe Burrow, I think we agree, is a star quarterback. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Caleb fit?
He's on his way.
He's a young rookie quarterback.
He's-
I
so-
don't know. What are your categories?
He's on
That's
his
what.
way.
Well, see, that's what I was hoping to hear different categories to kind of see where he would be placed, because even like Jaden Daniels, May, all these quarterbacks, like I feel like they're kind of elevating themselves. I don't think May is a. Actually, you could say May and maybe Bo Nix are game managers. Yeah,
No, you're so
really?
wrong.
Why?
Jesus Christ. First of all, if we're going to talk tiers, I would put Jaden and Caleb in very similar tiers. Bo Nix and Drake May are probably above them.
But what are they then?
I don't know about Knicks.
I
This
don't
year,
fucking
Knicks
know, dude. Good. You want to say great quarterbacks? Fine. Great quarterback. You want to do good, great, all-star, superstars?
No,
Fine.
I
I
was
don't know.
trying-
You can't ask these
I was-
stupid questions when I want to
It's
get to
not
the
a
fucking
stupid
trade
question.
deadline.
It's not a stupid question. If we're saying Flacco's a game manager and he's 7-0 when it comes to touchdowns and interceptions, I'm trying to see what other labels are out there for quarterbacks. It's a very simple question. You're the one that said star quarterback, which is a dumb answer.
Why
'Cause
is it dumb? You go look at Dak Prescott's
'Cause
stats.
Dak Prescott,
He's
if you-
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but every time Dak has received criticism in the past, but like if you put Dak in any kind of system, I feel like he seems to work well within.
No, Dak, when he's healthy, is MVP candidate every year. Like I don't think you can
Ooh.
call him a game manager. Like he's been hurt. That you can criticize him for that, but he's like fucking superstar. I'm with Miller.
I don't know. I felt like game managers like such a it's sometimes it gets
Like
said in such a negative way, but it's
Purdy
like
is
they're
probably a
winning.
game man. Like Purdy is probably a game manager. Would you?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
A game manager is a guy that he relies more on his playmakers to make plays than him making plays.
Right.
Not saying that he can't, but Purdy relies more on Ayuk to make plays, Jennings to make plays, Kittle to make plays, and CMC to make plays more than he's going to be making plays.
I think
Maybe I haven't
caught it.
seen
I
enough,
know.
but I feel like the games that I've seen with like Drake May and Bo Nix in particular, because Denver looks pretty
No,
good.
but I think
I-
like Chris. I think
Drake May
I got your answer.
is setting records
If
upon
you-
records right now.
If you think the quarterback can be successful beyond the system, like the system is not creating his success, then that's a game manager. Like if he can function beyond, the
I
system,
can agree with that definition. Yeah.
Like I think Drake May. I'm sorry, Brock Purdy. If you put him beyond like Shanahan's system, I don't think he'll be the same quarterback. Is probably what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Moving on then. What do the Bengals have to do to win this game?
I mean, take
Throw the
advantage,
ball to their
Yeah.
wide receivers.
take advantage
We
of
have
our
so
injured
basic.
defense. Like we don't have quarterbacks anymore.
We do not have any cornerbacks. Chase, there is odds on gamble responsibly.
There you go. See, told you got to start using it.
Chase
See?
may go for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns this week.
Okay, he
There
won't.
is a chance
No.
at that.
No, his targets. If there's a bet for his targets, bet the over. Is what I would say. Whatever the target.
It's going to be insane what this offense is going to put up. I mean, we don't have cornerbacks, and you're talking about
bet
the
over.
best.
Bet the over.
The
Bet
best wide
responsibly. Good Lord.
receiver duo in the league in Chase and Higgins. So all Flacco's going to have to do is throw them the ball and run the ball. We can't stop a damn thing on offense. We just gave up 30 points to fucking Tyler Huntley and that pathetic offense. Points are going to get scored in this game. So unless Caleb can pick up his end of things, it could be rough for the Bears.
Yeah, I agree. I think injuries as a whole has just affected more teams than I think I've noticed in the past. I agree with both points. I do want to point out, I was just looking at some stats here. Drake May is, I was wrong about Drake May because he's producing all of these numbers, has a QB rating of 118. Do you know how many times the man has been sacked?
A lot, isn't it? A lot.
28. He's second in the league in sacks with
Yeah.
Cam Ward at 34. So you're right. I don't know where to label him. I guess you could say he's breaking records and all of that. He's 15-3. And then I was looking to see who else did I mention?
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix
Where-
played really good the last 2 games.
Yeah, I was just looking to see where
Taking
he's
away
at
from my
sacks. He's
time.
only been sacked 8 times.
Who the fuck cares? You're taking away from my time. Move on.
What do you mean from your time?
I want to talk about trade deadline.
Oh, ugh. All right. Boys, what do you guys predict for this game? As of right now, we're all tied. Had I not changed that the Bears would lose instead of a win, I would be ahead. We're all 5-2. What do we
Props to
have for
Boopin
this?
for his pick, since you don't give props to people other than yourself. 31-17, almost an exact score. Good job.
Say something, damn it.
Good job.
Like,
I'm still pissed because I still would have won if I kept my loss, but whatever.
if pigs could fly, Chris, if pigs could fly.
Some do. Apparently, if you toss them out of a bathwater. But yeah, go ahead.
Pigs, babies, not pigs. Boopin, lead us off.
Oh, before you
baby.
lead us off, we all previously predicted that we would lose. They would lose this game. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean that was with freaking Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that was with. Yeah.
Like we Jets who were winless, like put freaking 38 points on them. So I'm hoping we get the ship right. It'll be probably a close scoring game because I don't think our defense is much better than them right now. But I say it's close. Flacco keeps them close, but we win 31-27.
Jesus, I don't know where you think we're getting 31 points. I think we lose this game. I feel like the Bears, every time we have to win a game, we always just seem to not, and it's an away game. So I'm saying it's a loss. I'm going to say it is 14-28.
I
We are not
swear
going
to
to get a
God,
turnover.
if we score 14 points in this game, I may not be on the podcast
Chris,
next week. I'm going to be honest with
We've
you.
been averaging 24 points this game against better defenses.
Yeah, but that only seems to happen when we get turnovers.
Boopin, you can't talk logic to him because he thinks every turnover that we get on the opponent's 10-yard line. That's how it works. We don't ever move the ball down the field. The only thing is we get it on the 10-yard line, and that's how we score.
All right, Chris.
No, I don't
Miller,
think
this time we take the lead. Come on.
I'm not with you, buddy.
Oh!
Sorry. I think we're gonna lose, and I think we're gonna lose 31-27. I think it's gonna be pretty much. I think that's a good score. I think both teams are gonna score a shit ton of points. I think the Bengals are gonna score more because I think our defense.
Boys,
What's
I'm gonna
funny
take the lead. I'm gonna take the lead, and I'm happy about it.
Can I just say, every time anyone has predicted that we're going to score points, the absolute opposite has happened.
Well,
So,
you have
That's not
so,
true because
yeah.
every time we've said that we've scored points, because as Boopa just pointed out, we've averaging 24 points a game.
yeah, but every time we say we're going to score points, we just don't. We lose.
No, we literally sat here, right here, and we said against the Dallas Cowboys that we were going to score points, and we put up 31. So you're wrong. Bengals are one of the worst defenses in the league. If Caleb Williams does not have a bounce back this week, if we do not score 14 points, I will not be here next week. I'm going to make that
Why?
statement.
Because then you would have to say that I was right.
I will not be here next week.
Yes,
I'll do the show solo. Is that better? I'll do the show.
Why? Because so you won't be here, but you're going to do the show solo? That sounds so backwards.
I can do it as a punishment.
Also, this is a punishment for you. Good Lord. You don't want to hang out with your friends.
Solo would be a punishment.
All right, boys. We're almost an hour and 15 into this.
I'm going to take fantasy.
Well, let me at least introduce you to it. Jesus fucking Christ.
Fantasy done.
We're going to jump into our fantasy recap. Okay. So, as
Big
you guys
injuries.
know, I haven't transitioned to you, bitch. You wait now. You wait. For those of you that are aware, we're currently in our 8th week for fantasy. I hope you guys.
So big injuries are Cam Scannabo out for the year. Quinshawn Jenkins, he took his shoulder. Barkley hamstring on bye, shouldn't be an issue. Hopefully not. Isaiah Pacheco week to week. Michael Penix, Drake London last minute. Jaden Brock and JJ McCarthy are expected to be back. AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, who the fuck knows? Deacon O'Collins trying to need to play. Waiver pickups for this week. Oronde Gadsden from the Chargers, tight end.
No, don't listen to Miller with tight end pickups. He already failed me, so no. I'm removing that.
If you would have kept with Mason Taylor, he got you at least 10 points this game, so go fuck yourself.
How come I don't get consulted on this?
That's what I'm saying, but he gives zero fucks about us.
Smith, if you need a QB, Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know about Aaron Rodgers, but Trevor Lawrence, all good plays. Several hot and cold wide receivers, and Troy Franklin, Kayshon Boutte, and Alec Pierce. Okay, now to the good stuff.
Hold on. No. Stop. Boopin, is there anything you want to add to that? Because this fucker apparently thinks it's his show.
No, he covered most of it. Loveland is also a decent pickup if you're pretty desperate at tight end. No, and you need a replacement.
When am I going to get love for my Patriots pick? Jesus fucking
No,
Christ.
a heck of a pick. They've been carrying my team last couple of weeks. Great pick.
No, Boopin.
We don't give him
Did you
credit.
play them?
I did.
I
No, I
played
was
them
talking
too.
to you.
Oh.
I played them.
So
I played the
You
Patriots.
benched them the other week.
I fucking benched them. I was so pissed. And
Would
Miller
you-
was
would
like,
you
"Oh,
play
that
him
was a
this
good."
week? Would
No,
you play him
Miller
this
tells
week?
me, according to stats, that's a good play. Putting the Steelers. They got me -8.
It was the Steelers against like
Dude, that was
fucking-
that. No one could see that coming. Sorry.
was it the Jets or something?
No,
I don't
it
know.
was
forgot
it
who
was
it
Flacco.
was.
It was Joe Flacco.
Yeah, it was the
I forgot
Browns.
who it was, but ever
It's
since then, I'm
Bengals.
like, fuck it. I'm riding the
Bengals.
fucking Patriots hard.
Wait, would you play him this week against Atlanta?
yes.
Okay.
They're at
'Cause
home.
the Steelers are fucking playing the Colts. I'm not
I
gonna do
mean,
that.
first of all, you should drop the Steelers defense
You should.
and get a new person.
Get a new
just
tight
traded-
end.
Steelers or Lande Godson or Colson Loveland. Let's ride the Loveland train, Chris.
Let's
Yeah.
Ride it.
I need to
Right.
ride
Right.
something. All right, Miller. It is trade deadline, but not for the NFL, but for fucking fantasy.
It will
No,
be
no,
for the
it-
NFL
it-
next
Wait,
week.
I thought they
Next
changed it.
Tuesday.
Did they not change it?
No, they did. It's next Tuesday.
Fuck.
Which
Why
is
did
the
I
reason
think?
that I wanted to bring this up.
I apologize. I thought it was for fantasy because of how they did the schedules of the weeks and stuff. So yeah,
I think
okay,
it
my
might
bad.
be fantasy too, but
Okay.
It'll
Should
be
we
the
name a
full
player
net
that we
weeks.
think would be traded by the deadline?
I don't know.
No,
Miller
just-
pointed this out, so let's see what he
do
says.
we want the Bear? First of all, what do you want the Bears to do? Do you want them to buy or sell? Or
Ooh.
do you think? Yeah,
You know
let's
what,
just
boys?
start there.
You know what? I want to hear you guys out because I have not thought about that at all. I'll be very honest with you. With the Bears being buyers or sellers, have not thought about it. So I'm intrigued to see what you guys might think. You guys might lean me one way or another, but I'm intrigued now. That's a great question.
I mean, if we sell, we'll have to sell on offense because defense is already very depleted, right? And I don't want to see us being sellers on offense because that means this year is basically, our ceiling is limited. That means so. I don't want to see them be sellers or sell from the offense. I would love to see us be buyers and maybe at least try to get a couple of pieces. Hopefully, not that expensive pieces on the defensive end. That's dreaming on my end. Miller?
He wants them to buy. Got it. Do you want me to go?
Chris
Yeah,
is
go
still
ahead because
thinking.
that's a great question.
So I have very conflicted things here.
Okay.
I'm completely opposite of what Boopin said. I think we have several pieces that we can sell on the offensive side of the ball. I think as much as I don't know if I would like it, and Luther Burden's injury or concussion is probably going to restrict this, DJ Moore is probably our best asset. He hasn't really gelled in any offense under Caleb Williams for whatever reason. So he is probably going to be looking for a payday this offseason. Flipping him isn't the worst thing in the world. Another asset that you don't see very often traded is tight ends. Cole Kmet is a guy that we could possibly flip. He's got a pretty big contract. I don't know if anyone's going to want to take that for a tight end.
I mean,
don't know if
DJ
it's gonna
Moore has a
happen.
bigger cap hit, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's a wide receiver. People need him. Tight ends aren't as they're not. You don't see them getting flipped as often.
DJ Moore is signed till 2029 with a $25.5 million cap hit every year.
He's not signed through 2029.
That's what fucking NFL is telling me. Let me see over the cap just to be sure.
I feel like he's saying NFL, but he's just saying it's AI. So now he's double checking the AI.
No, it's AI. He's signed through 2028, 2029.
Okay, so
2028?
Yeah, so he-
2027.
no, he's saying 2028, 2029 season.
With a cap
You have
hit
this
of-
thing where you don't count the last year of the fucking thing, which we've gone over before. But yeah, that's fine.
No, I didn't think he was signed for 3 more years. I'm
And
gonna
last
be
year we
honest.
gave him an extension, didn't we not?
I thought it was a 3-year extension. Maybe
Maybe added
whatever.
3 years to the account.
But I mean, I still think DJ Moore could be expendable. I mean, we got Luther Burden for a reason. We're not going to sit here and have Luther Burden be on the bench while DJ plays. It's just not going to happen. You can't have 3 stud receivers. So might as well give Luther the shot. Cole Kmet, as I mentioned, another wild card. Braxton Jones, man. If he gets healthy, what the fuck else are you going to do with him?
I
You
think
gave him a
that's
shot.
that's
He
the
didn't
most
fucking pan out.
that's the most legit one we can trade on.
Why not try to flip an offensive lineman to a solid? mean, you're not getting much for him. Probably just doing a 6th, 7th flip.
This
But
is
what?
this is probably a stretch, but do you think DeAndre Swift gets traded? So
No,
Roshan
absolutely not. I
No?
think they're gonna hold pat. I really hope they hold pat there. If they trade like a 2nd round pick for Brees Hall or some of this shit,
I feel like if you're
I
getting
may be an Indy fan. I may just fucking flip. Just go to the Indy. Let's just be Indy fans because Brees Hall is a hell of a player. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's on a contract year. Y'all know how I feel about this shit. Plus, I don't know that Brees Hall is giving that much more than DeAndre Swift is with Kyle Monangai. Like, just ride it out. If you really want a new guy, wait till the offseason. Don't flip a 2nd rounder for him. If you're talking like a 5th, fine, we can have a conversation. But realistically, you're going to have to pay him. His contract is expiring. I don't want us to get a running back. I do agree with Boopin. If we were to get like a defensive player of some sort, like a cornerback or a defensive end, I would be okay with it as long as we don't give up a fucking 2nd round pick.
Like Rams got a quarterback, like the 2nd round pick for the 6th round today. I think Ravens did too from like the Patriots. So there's definitely like deals to be made out there. I think
So,
49. Sorry.
I've heard you guys both. I don't want to get too much into it, but I do then have to pose this question. The next 5 games that the Chicago Bears are playing, it's Bengals, Giants, Vikings, Steelers, Eagles. Of those 5 games, how many are wins, in your opinion? 2?
I'm gonna say 2, but I think 4 of the 5 are winnable.
4 of the 5 are winnable.
I don't
agree.
want. I don't like winnable. I don't want. I hate when fucking Brian says that shit. 4 or 5, we will be in contention.
Okay. So given that everyone is saying 2, I'm leaning towards 3. I did say at one point the Bears had a chance of being 7 and what did I say? Like 8-2 or something like that. That's not happening now.
No, you did not say 8-2.
Or did I say?
You are very much. We lose a lot of the games at the beginning and win a lot of the games.
No. Like when we talked about the next 5 games, like when they were on the win streak. I'm sorry.
Then you may have said.
Yeah. Here's the thing: is that enough to be labeled as sellers? And that essentially means we're not in contention for the division, not in contention for the wild card. I don't know if we really have value because if you start looking at what we could get back for certain players, it's going to go into the draft that people are saying that we just don't draft well. So I don't know. Unless we can get something where it gets us in contention for the division, I would say yes, we should be buyers. But I think given that we think we're only going to get 2 wins out of this in the next 5, we're not there, so we might as well save some capital or say whatever you want to say about saving. I'm not even sure it would be capital at this point.
I just hope we don't go overboard and buy some fucking position player that we're not going to need long term.
Not only that, but a position player that we might not even be winning with.
Left tackle. The only 2 acceptable positions to drop a big pick on would be defensive end and left tackle. Left tackle isn't happening. Defensive end. We drop a big one on the running back.
The only honest thing that I can see happening, it would be like the Bears doing a package deal where you include more Komet and maybe a 4th rounder for a position player that might be helpful. I don't know which one it would be.
It's not fancy. Those usually don't happen in NFL.
No, but I'm saying like, would you really trade more for a 5th?
Yes.
You have to.
You would, but
knowing his contract, probably not. I didn't realize we were going to have him for so long. But what? Like, you drafted Luther Burden at the beginning of the 2nd round. Like, what are you going to do with him?
Yeah.
Keep him behind Rome and DJ for the next 3 years? Just doesn't make sense. That's why I didn't think that the contract went to the 28 season. Even more reasons to hate fucking Ryan Poles. It's stupid. It's blatantly dumb. You don't have 3 top receivers on a fucking NFL team. It doesn't happen. And then to add on to that, I'm done. Okay. I have one more thing to add when we're wrapping up this episode. Thank you. I'm going to shut up until
Are we done? Well, okay, trade deadline for the greater NFL. You guys have some...
No care. No. Move on. We're at 1 hour and 25 minutes. No one cares about that. The only thing I want to shout out to our boy, because we're covering all the sports today, baby. We've hit the Bulls. We've hit the fucking MLB. Connor Bedard with the Hattie. Hat trick for Bedard, baby. Woo!
Did they win? Yeah, they won 7-3.
Let's fucking go, Connor. Now we hit the NHL. End this shit.
Yeah, we're not an NFL podcast anymore, Chris.
Yeah, that's what you guys wanted. That's why I find it so surprisingly weird.
How
But I
did
will say,
I get pulled into anything. I've done shit today.
I just love putting you next to Miller. But I will say though, if
You
we did it the
didn't.
old way, this podcast would be 2.5 hours. There's no way that we would not touch into this. Although I will say the Ravens, we didn't really talk about the game itself. We just kind of talked about all the outside noise that was happening, which yeah, some of it is warranted. Should we have done it? Probably not, but I felt that it was a fun
Okay,
topic
can we
to get
just talk
into.
about this offline instead of on the podcast?
I just
have a
like
fucking
wasting your
joke?
time. I'm waiting to see when Miller is just gonna blow up. Like it's happening, but it's not happening anytime soon. So with that, we're gonna wrap it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, I was joined by Boopin, Miller, and I am Christian. Thank you guys so much for listening. This is the Trio of Positivity podcast. Maybe someday in the near future we can have some positivity coming out of this podcast. It's probably not going to happen, but whatever. And on that note, have a good night. Bye-bye.
Cool boy.